What's up, everyone? It is AnimeALX back again with another Monstie build video. I know it's been a long time because I've been kind of getting distracted with Pokemon Unite and grinding in Pokemon Unite, but we are back on Stories 2 because we got a new update. Molten Tigrex is the Monstie of this update, and then we are going to get Dread King in a few days. Now, Molten Tigrex is kind of weird because he is actually a non-elementalist Monstie, but he comes with several, and I mean several, fire moves. Both fire moves we're actually using in this build currently. So I thought to myself, we're going to make a fun, like, exploding bombardier Molten Tigrex just to go with the theme. And what we have is this lovely assortment of genes, starting off with the Ignition Breath. Ignition Breath deals medium fire damage to all foes and instantly causes Blast Blight. It's 30 out of 100 kinship, so it costs 30 kinship. Now, this is going to be a spread move. This is our tech attack option, and we're going to be using this to instantly blow up Blast Blight. Now, we pair this up with the Dust Gene XL because it deals heavy fire damage to random enemies with a high chance to inflict Blast Blight. With this whole build, we don't need Inflict Rate up. And since we have, since this is 20, it's going to be cheap, and we are going to actually, the goal is to Blast Blight off the beginning of the game and try to Ignition Breath or use his new attack, Ignition Kick, which deals heavy fire damage to one enemy and instantly causes Blast Blight. It's 24 kin cost, so it's cheaper than Ignition Breath, but the whole goal is we randomly Dust Explosion and we just start picking off people with Ignition Kick and just completely blow people up. To help us blow people up better, we have Bellowing Gene, which is Booming Roar, which moderately increases our blast damage dealt by allies. The reason why I went Booming Roar instead of Valiant Flare is because obviously Molten Tigrex is not a fire Monstie. His fire attack is actually 7 out of 10 stars, and I will get into his stat spread after this. So obviously we're using this, and it's very cheap. It's actually at 10 out of 100 kin cost, so you can do this off the back of the game. You'll basically Booming Roar, you'll probably pet one time, you'll be able to spread Dust Explosion, and then you can pick people off with Ignition Breath or Ignition Breath, or yeah, Ignition Breath or Ignition Kick. You can pick people off with that. Obviously, we have Bombardier Gene XL. This is a must-have because it seriously boosts our Blast Blight and explosives. And you just coop Bellow Gene, like you're adding Bellow Gene on top of Bombardier, and you're just blowing up. Like, this actually can one-shot people in PvP just by having them with Blast Blight on, and it's hilarious. All you have to do is just make sure they have Blast Blight, and you just Ignition Kick and Ignition Breath them to death with your Booming Roar buff. Then we have Fire Gene plus XL because it seriously boosts fire attack. Obviously, every single attack we are using is fire attack based. And we come down to our negative ailment larges. Obviously, this should be XLs, so we can have a fair chance to negate abnormal statuses. Currently, since we only have larges, it's an occasional chance of activation, so just be sure to replace the largest with extra largest when you get it. And also we have Harmony Gene Large, which should be XLs, which should reduce the kinship charge cost by a good amount. Obviously, you're wanting XLs to lower down Booming or like Ignition Breath and our last attack, which is one of Molten Tigrex's innate abilities, which is our power attack option, which is Fire Powder. It deals heavy fire damage to all enemies and high chance to inflict Blast Blight. So this is basically another spread move, but it's our power attack. It's going to cost a lot, and that is why we have kin cost down to bring it down. Obviously, we need extra large to try to bring it down even further. so you won't have to wait so long to use your power attack in the game. So the early game is looking like Dust Gene into Ignition Kick, while your late game is like Fire Powder into either Ignition Kick or Ignition Breath, and you just completely rain down all sorts of explosive horrors down on them. The bingo list shows 4 fire bingos coming in at 130% fire attack, increased fire attack damage, and we have 1 power bingo increasing our power damage to 110%. Coming over to our lovely stat spread of Molten Tigrex, you see that Molten Tigrex is actually basically just another Bloodbath Diablos. His attack for non-elementless is a 10 out of 10. That's matching Nergigante and Bloodbath. As you see, 10 out of 10 attack. He literally has the same attack spread as Bloodbath, and he actually has the same defense spread as Bloodbath also. Coming into max HP, it's an 8 out of 10. Bloodbath is a 9 out of 10, so he has a little less HP than Bloodbath. I believe he has the same speed as Bloodbath. He does. He has the same recovery as Bloodbath. The crit rate is actually 1 tick worse than Bloodbath, so he's kind of a little worse than Bloodbath, but his fire attack is a 7 out of 10. Obviously, nothing to write home about. He has 1 tick less than our fellow other Bombardier guy, Basilgeuse. But the problem with Basilgeuse is Basilgeuse has less HP and less speed than Molten, and Glavenus has a higher crit rate and a higher fire attack rate. So what you're trying to use Glavenus is basically a lot of physical attacking fire moves to crit. So you're not really going to run the Bombardier set on Hellblade or normal Glavenus. And with Teostra, you could actually do the whole same setup with Teostra, but and Teostra actually has the same defense spread, just with more fire attack. So if you want to use the same build with Teostra, feel free to, but this is our Molten Tigrex build. This is basically just kind of our trolling, bombing Molten Tigrex, just because I wanted to be different and do it for the hell of it. That is the stat spread. That is the build. Hope you guys enjoy. Be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and check us out for more. Check me out on twitch.tv/AnimeALX, and I will see you over there. For now, peace out, all my fellow weebs and weebettes, and see you in the next one.